meaning that at least at the end we have what? We have that. Huh. Then we got the next question. Guys, please make sure that you do many questions concerning about meiosis because sometimes it confuses. Don't rush for the next topic before you understand the topic we are on. We will finish. I know that for sure that we will finish. You understand? Yes. You just have to focus on that topic we are on so that um, uh, 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 um, if you have a challenge, we are able to solve those problems. If you have a problem, then you WhatsApp me so that we solve that problem. All right, we continue to the next question. They're saying that the cell in the diagram is not identical. If you look at these cells, they are not identical. Okay, so what? Let's find out what are they trying to say. Okay. They're saying they're not identical. They're saying that name two processes during meiosis that lead to the cell being different from one another. They're saying that name two processes. If you look at this, they're asking you what two processes, which two processes you it made them to be not identical. If you look at this, there is different variations on these chromosomes. What made those chromosomes to be different? Crossing over. That's number one. Where does crossing over takes place? Prophase one. So crossing over is a very important thing. And then is there any, but they said during meiosis. So your focus must be on meiosis. Uh-huh. The second point, random arrangement of chromosomes during death. Random arrangement of chromosomes during metaphase one. So you guys, you have to explain, you have to talk about, don't say random arrangement. Random arrangement of what? Stones? Random arrangement of chromosomes. During what? During giving birth. Random arrangement of chromosome during metaphase. During metaphase what? During metaphase one. Is it clear? Yes. So don't leave the answers hanging. When you talk about random fertilization or random mating, those are not part of meiosis because here they are talking about meiosis. So your answer must be linked to meiosis. Yes. The next question, sorry. Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, okay. All right. No problem. Okay. We continue the next question. Should we continue the next question? Okay. They are saying that they're saying that explain the significance of species of the cells being different from one another. What is the significance to the species of the cells being different from one another? Mm. Yes, I'm listening. Who can say? Can I ask you a question, guys? You think if you have a disease which has come, it's gonna treat us the same way? Why? Zintle, are you in class? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Why? 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 Why is this is not going to treat us the same way? Because we have different abilities. We have different way in which we can survive because in the environment, because we have different what abilities. So it means that if they are going to adapt to the environment differently, meaning that they will survive differently. If they adapt to the environment differently, it means that they're gonna survive differently. If they survive differently in the same environment, how do we call that? We call it natural selection. Meaning that the natural selection, the nature is gonna select them independently, not the same way. That's number one. But they are talking about species of the cells. Explain the significance to the species of the cells being different from one another. Explain why should the cells now in the organisms be different. First of all, it will bring about specialization. Imagine your cells in a tongue, they work the same way as the cells in the nose. Cells in the on the stomach, the same way, they are exactly the same way, or how they work together. You see, there will be, maybe you will be using your stomach to breathe, maybe. But because they are different, meaning that each cell will be specialized for that specific function. And then number two, they'll also adapt to the environment differently. Therefore, they will survive differently. That's why you can have a disease or something which will affect the eye, but the nose is fine. It will affect the hand, but the leg is fine. Yes, something like that. But all of them are somatic cells, meaning that they have the same composition, but because of the different modification they have, they end up surviving in the environment differently, which links it to be natural selection. So it means that the nature will select them according to the abilities they have, and then this will result in different adaptations of these cells to the environment. Hence, specialization will come in. And let's do last question. Last question. Should we do this one? Should we do this one? Okay. They're saying that the diagram below represents the chromosome. The diagram below represents the chromosomes. Represent the chromosome in a female. Look at that. Chromosomes chromosome pair in a female human cell. The first word key point is female, the second is human cell. The moment they talk about human cell, what comes into your mind? 46 chromosomes, isn't it? And then whenever they talk about the female, what comes into your mind? Ovum, if it's one. Ova, if there are many. If it was a male, then we would have thought of the sperms, which we call the spermatozoa. Okay, let's go to the question and see. How many pairs of chromosomes occur in a normal human cell? Normal. What can you say? I'm waiting. Wh- Huh? Ah, yo. 46, ne? So everyone is saying 46. You did not read the question properly. They said, how many pairs? How many pairs of meaning that we have 92 chromosomes. That's the meaning. Now that they're saying pairs, pairs means times two, isn't it? So you see how people go off? It's just a simple, they hide something there. How many pairs? So the answer is supposed to be 23 pairs. Yes. Someone is switching on, but they are making noise at in the background. Who is, who is that? Uh-huh. Give the label for structure X. What is this X? How do you call this point? Centromere. Mhm. Sure. Le, 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 le. Centromere. Okay, let me differentiate them. Where two chromatids meet on the same chromosome is called a centromere. Centromere. But where two chromatids meet, yes, from different chromosomes. I see that this chromatid is from this chromosome, this chromatid is from this chromosome. Meaning that where two chromatids meet from different chromosomes is called chiasma. So what is it? Why? Is it chiasma or is it centromere? Mm, is chiasma. Because these are different chromatids from different chromosomes. So the white part is what called a centromere. Centromere. While this point where the two chromatids meet, we call it chiasma. Is it clear? So you must differentiate between the two. One is a chiasma. Chiasma is when the point at which the two chromatids cross over during the process of crossing over. Then we call it chiasma. If it's one, it's called chiasma. If there are many, we call them chiasmara. We call them chiasmara. If there are many. But if it's one, we call it chiasma. Yes, we don't say chiasmas. Okay, we go to the next question. What is area? Oh, la, 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 la. Wait. Sandion, you said what is X? X is a centromere. Oh, my mind was on this. Ne? Yes. So meaning that X is a what? Is a centromere. And then Y is chiasma. Yes. So this is Y is chiasma. And then X is centromere. Yes. So two chromatids of different chromosomes meet at a point called chiasma. And the center of the chromosome, that is two chromatids of the same chromosome, meet at a point called centromere. Is it clear? Eh. Name the organ in human female where meiosis occurs. Eh? Did you say that? Ovum? Zintle, what are you saying? Eh? Okay. What's the difference, guys, between ovary and ovum? Ovary is the structure which produces the ovum. The ovum is what you call the gamete. Is it clear? So the organ here is the ovary. The ovary produces the ovum. Let me show you what I'm trying to say. Let me show you what I'm trying to say. Let me show you what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. At the beginning, yes. You see here? They're saying that meiosis in animals, in female, it occurs in the ovary to produce ova if there are many. Ovum if it's one. In males, in a testis to produce spermatozoa, which we call the sperms. So ovary is the organ. Ovum or ova is the cell, which is being what? Which is being produced. So ovaries produce ovum. I think we are clear there. Then we got the next question. Thank you so much, guys, for giving, trying, putting in, and you don't stop. The more you give me the answer, if it's not that right, is the more you guys you learn. Why? Because when you do that, I study what is in your mind so that, oh, once you say it, we are able to correct it. But if you don't talk about it, then it means that I won't be able to explain that in detail so that you understand it better. All right. They're saying that the phase represented by diagram, okay, which phase is represented in the diagram above? Prophase 1. Why do we say prophase 1? Because another day they'll bring that question. Why is diagram above under prophase 1? Because, yes, because of crossing over. Crossing over occurs in prophase 1. Crossing over occurs in what? In prophase 1. Is it clear? Therefore, it's prophase 1 because we are having here crossing over. Right. Then they're saying that the type of cells that would result from meiosis of this cell. How do you call those type of cells that will result? I'm listening. Which type of cells? We go back, find out. What did they say? What did they say? They say that is a human female. Oh, female, isn't it? What do females produce? What do females produce? They produce ova. So it means that in this case, we are producing the cells, the type of, yes, they are gametes, but what exactly? We can't say gametes because they specify that this is a female, and the females produce ova. Is it clear? So the basically what we are looking for here is ova or it's ovum, one of the two. They're saying arrange A, B, C to show the correct sequence of the events. The correct sequence of the events. A, B, C. A, B, C. So which one is first? If you look at this, which one is first? Which one is first? They're saying C is 1. Number 2, B, and then 3. So yeah, because C, homologous chromosome come together, then the chromatids of these the chromatids from each cohomologous chromosome will overlap at a point called chiasma. After that, they do split so that you form two recombinants of these chromosomes. Yes, that's the process, basically describing the process of crossing over. So it is C, B, and A. Ah, so that is what you call meiosis. Uh, we need to go to the next part so that we see what can we do when it comes to the next point. All right. Uh-huh. Let's look at what we call reproduction. reproduction in vertebrates. What can you talk about it? And then remind me, guys, what are the causes of variation? What causes variation? What causes variation? Uh-uh. Offline. Guys, are you there? Hey. You are there. All right. Okay, let's start. The cause of variation, we said there are 4 points which you need to talk about. Is all these 4 points which we need to talk about. Actually, there are three. This, 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 and this. This occurs in meiosis. This occurs in fertilization. Occurs in reproduction. Production, and then this can occur either meiosis or even before meiosis. Some of you have kids. Why don't you resemble your kid? Your kid might not even resemble your dad. The dad is they might not resemble his or her dad. So me, I can ask a question, not a personal. Are you sure your kid is your kid? Mm. Hmm. Why are you not this exactly the same with your kid? Actually, it came from you. If the dad provided a sperm, why is he not resembling the dad? It's because of these. First of all, crossing over will bring about that variation. Variation means the difference among organisms of the same species. So you don't resemble your father, you don't resemble your mother. Whom are you resembling? You might be resembling a specific relative there, meaning that those genes are still there. So when you cross over, you cross them over, what happens? The genetic material is exchanged. Number two, random arrangement of chromosomes during metaphase. We don't know where it's gonna go, which side is gonna go, so that when it splits, we know that okay, this one is gonna be this side, this one is gonna be this side. This is what I'm trying to mean. This might be this side this time. Like you see how they are. If I split them, you have different combination. If I split here, you have different combination. So I don't know. Random fertilization, you produce over 500 million sperms for a single ejaculation. Which sperm is gonna fertilize the ovum? We don't know. You are just lucky that you are there. Random mating, you don't know. There are millions and millions of people in this world. You don't know whom you're gonna marry. You might even find him on the street. You get married. So, random fertilization. Then, mutation can occur. It's just a sudden change. So, we don't know. If it happens, it just causes a mutation. It just causes a change. And then you result. You result in what? Yes. So, you result in what? In a, in a, you result in different organisms or different features. So, a short break, 5 minute break. Are you there? Okay. So you're saying that, so we saw um we saw the see few questions. So what is the reproduction? What is the reproduction? What is the reproduction? And why should the reproduction be there? Mm. Some people confuse the reproduction with sex. Reproduction is not sex because not everyone who does sex reproduce. Basically, reproduction is multiplying in numbers because we have different ways in which organisms can multiply in numbers. So sex is just a mechanism which is going to lead to reproduction. So people or organisms go for sex not for enjoyment, it's meant for multiplying numbers. That is based on science. So organisms go for copulation so that they can increase in numbers. So based on science, there is no need for someone to use a condom because you are now preventing the instance of copulation. All right, let's continue. Let's start. So we are talking about the scientific point of view. In this topic, we're going to look at how do these invertebrates or these vertebrates increase in numbers. How do they increase in numbers? Basically, how do they reproduce? That's why you say reproduction in vertebrates. Apart from human reproduction, we will look at human reproduction separately. So there are some things which you need to understand. Number one is fertilization. Number two is, if it's fertilization, is it internal or it is external? Oviparous, viviparous, ovoviviparous. These three words. Then we're going to look at the amniotic egg, precocial and tertial development. Then parental care, then the topic is done. So let's be fast. In this case, we need to understand what is fertilization. Fertilization is when the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. This is what I mean. Remember, at the end of meiosis, you form haploids. If you form haploids, and then this is a sperm, which is 1N, and then this is the ovum, which is 1N. Then when you combine the two, yes, you form a cell which we call a zygote. And then because it's 1 plus 1, then you form 2N. So that's why I'm saying this. When the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. So if you are 23 chromosomes in the sperms, 23 chromosomes in the ovum, then the individual is going to be 46. So when meiosis occurs again, yes, so that now the 46 can divide into 23, into 23, into 23, like that. You understand? So that now these sperms, when they combine with the ovum from another individual, which is 23, it goes back to 46. So one of the functions of meiosis is to produce haploid sperms, haploid gametes. Number two is to maintain the chromosome number. Because if we are not having meiosis to divide this into 23, imagine you are 46, even the father is 46, you combine it again, now it's going to be 92, and that individual. So another father brings 92, and then another one brings 92. Where are we going to stop? So this meiosis helps in maintaining the chromosome number from one generation to another generation. So that's why immediately after meiosis, we go to reproduction, because we have formed the cells which are helpful for an individual to develop. So haplonucleus of the sperm fuses with the haplonucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. If this process occurs outside the female's reproductive organs, it means that now we call it external fertilization. If it occurs inside the female's reproductive organs, meaning that the female's body, then we call it internal fertilization. So external fertilization is when the haploid nucleus, is when the sperm cell fuses the ovum outside the female's body. Yes. So specifically here, the female reproductive system. And you have to know some of the examples, because we just bring diagrams and we ask you questions. If you look at this, what is happening? You see the male is inclining on the female and is depositing sperms. Is it inside the female's body? No. So it is external fertilization. Look at the fish, same story. And that's how they survive. And they enjoy to have it like that. If not, then they wouldn't have done it over and over again to reproduce. So they like it the way it is. So don't complain. We continue. Is it clear, guys? Are you there in class? Yeah. Then the internal fertilization occurs inside the female's body, meaning that inside the female's reproductive system, the female's reproductive organ. You understand? Yes. So basically, where exactly does fertilization takes place? It occurs at a point called fallopian tubes. Don't call them oviduct. Don't call them that. Call them fallopian tube. Call them it's their name, the actual name, not the nickname. Because if you ask me what's my name, you will say it's Saidi. When you call me a teacher, teacher, yes, I will say yes, but that's not my name. It's just a description. So please, if books are saying oviduct, don't call it oviduct. Based on our curriculum, we prefer you saying it fallopian tube, because those are the actual name we are looking for. So some of examples are in birds, the reptiles, yeah. So you guys, did you know that when you go eat eggs, you are eating someone's uh, eh, ah, no, I mean the birds. Yeah. Even the cock maybe is watching you say, they're taking my babies. So if you are eating eggs, if the eggs are nice for you, good luck. All right. I'm not saying that don't eat eggs. It is just my view. Yes. All right. So if some organisms they fertilize outside the female's body, others, yes, others inside the female's body, that is exactly which we call the reproductive organs. What are some of the advantages of me fertilizing outside, me fertilizing inside over outside? If you fertilize inside, you increase the chance of the gametes to meet. And the moment these gametes, the male and the female, meet, we have a great chance of fertilization. So it means that increase in the gametes, it increases the chances of the gametes to meet, uh, which result in a greater successful fertilization. Uh-huh. Are you still there? Uh-huh. Sandioni, are you there? George, where's George? Yeah, yeah. All right. We continue the next question. Should we continue the next question? All right. From there, we need to know what you call embryo development, of which now you have fertilized the ovum. But how do the embryo develop? It is going to develop through oviparous or viviparous or ovoviviparous. When you say oviparous, it is derived from ovum, which means that the development is outside the female's reproductive system, basically the female's body, meaning that it will not give birth. What will it do? It will hatch. Like the eggs of the chicken. You see, it doesn't give, chicken don't give birth. Chicken lay eggs and the eggs they hatch. So basically, when you see hatching and these eggs are outside the female's body, then automatically it becomes oviparous. Mhm. When it comes to the female laying, having the eggs developing inside the female's body, eh? Uh-uh. The embryo is developing from inside the female's body. Basically, that is the reproductive system or organ. But there's something which is unique there. Where does the child obtain nutrients? It obtains nutrients from the mother. What you eat is what the kid eats. If you drink alcohol, the kid who is developing is also drinking alcohol. If you smoke, the kid is also smoking. If you eat whatever you eat, also the kid is eating. That's why sometimes people produce kids who are already drunkard, which we call alcoholic syndrome, because the mother was drinking alcohol when the kid was still in the womb. So it means that here, Vivi means inside. The development is inside the mother's body, and the embryo or this fetus is obtaining nutrients from the mother through a structure called a placenta. Eh. So you get the idea. So the female will give birth. It will not hatch. The baby will not hatch. The female will give birth to a live one. So the difference here, the development is inside, and the embryo obtains nutrients from the mother through the placenta. Whereas the ovoviviparous, this one is ovum. Vivi is inside. Yes, is inside. Meaning that the development is inside the mother's body, but the nutrients are not obtained from the mother. They are obtained from the ovum, basically the yolk. You understand? That's why he is saying that the development of the embryo is inside the mother's body, but the embryo obtains nutrients from the egg yolk. Here we say that the embryo obtains nutrients from the mother through the placenta, while here from the egg yolk. That's why we add this word ovo. Examples is the dark-billed platypus. And some snakes, they also have that. Someone was also asking me a question about what about this the seahorse, something like that. Yes. So here the inside part is just helping the organism to develop, specifically protection. These eggs are put inside the mother just to obtain protection. You understand? Yes. So, what are some of the advantages of having the development being inside than the development being outside? Check now. You guys will enjoy the eggs. What if those eggs were inside the chicken? It means that we would have to get that egg, we would have slaughtered the chicken. So the chances are low for you to use that egg. But because the eggs are inside, the outside is easy to be preyed upon. So the eggs you become a predator to this chicken. So if you are using ovoviviparous and viviparous, meaning the development is inside, over oviparous, it means that more protection against the outside environment and the predators. Therefore, there is high chance of surviving until birth. Imagine you find someone on the street and this person is pregnant. What do you do? Can you slap that person? No. When that person is you go to the train, you are sitting. How do you feel? Say, for her, she's standing. Say, come sit. Basically, you are not caring about the person who is the mother. You are caring about the baby. Because if that lady didn't have the baby inside, you wouldn't have done that. Do you see the protection you are giving the baby? You want the baby to grow. You see? So there is that protection which is being given. If you find someone pregnant and you slap the mother, you slap back. The mother can slap you back, asking you, why are you beating my baby? You see? Why are you beating my baby? Meaning that he's slapping you back, not because you slapped her. I'm not saying that to go and slap. I'm just giving a simple example. He's going to ask you, why are you slapping my baby? So meaning that there is a protection which is being given to these organisms who are developing from inside than those organisms from outside. Lastly, is what you call amniotic egg. These amniotic egg have what you call extra embryonic membranes. They have more membranes which protect the embryo. So basically is for protection, and then it helps for water to be retained so that it's not dry, and also allow gaseous exchange to happen, because these membranes, these eggs are membranous. So even if you see the shell of the chicken, that shell has holes in it. All right. We have four layers. The first one is amnion, chorion, allantois, and yolk sac. Amnion, chorion, allantois, and yolk sac. I'm going to ask you to go and read about this as homework. Yeah. So when I come back the next class, you will tell me, not through cheating me, but through from the head, what is the function of each. That's homework. Let's just talk about precursor and atresia. What is precursor? Precursor is when you are born prepared. Eyes are open, You can walk. Yes. You have feathers. You see. You can look for your food. So you are born prepared. Precaution. Prepared. Meaning that you are able to defend yourself. But artificial, you are helpless. All depends, all depends on the mother. Eyes are closed, you cannot walk, you don't have feathers covering the body, you can't defend yourself, you can't look for food. You have to open the mouth so that when the mother comes, like a human body, a human being. It's not only in birds, also in humans. So we call it you are born helpless. So basically, you cannot protect yourself. Yes, you cannot feed yourself. You cannot walk. So you are just there waiting for the food. While these ones, their eyes are open, they're able to fly, they have feathers, they can defend themselves, they can feed themselves. So they are born prepared. So the major difference between the egg which developed this organism and the egg which developed this organism, the one where it is not fully developed, it means that the egg yolk was small. You understand? Meaning that it didn't have enough nutrients for full maturity. While these ones, they had enough uh, nutrients in the egg yolk. That's the meaning. So they'll ask you such questions. They'll ask you such questions. So that is it. And then lastly, parental care, we talked about it. So now, if you will come here, we can see different questions which we can smash when it comes to that. We can smash them. The type of fertilization where the nucleus of the sperm fuses with the nucleus of the ovum outside the female's body. We said is external fertilization. The reproductive strategy when hatching is able to move and feed themselves. We said is precocial. We said the type of egg where the embryo develops inside the filled sac. You see, surrounded by the shell. We say it is amniotic egg. The type of development where birds where birds type of development in birds where offsprings are born helpless. You see, helpless. So it is artificial. The method of reproduction involving hatching of the egg in the female reproductive system. You are hatching the egg, meaning that the egg is not connected to the what? To the mother. Inside the female reproductive system, meaning that that is ovoviviparous. Because inside is vivi and then hatching is ovo. You understand? Meaning that you are coming from the ovum. So you see, once they bring this, you are able to answer such questions. You understand? Yes. So we can do these questions. This the host I was talking about. So I'm gonna send you these questions so that you practice them. By the time we come back, at least you have this. You are able to. We are able to go to the next what? Next topic. So it means that on Saturday we will talk about, we're going to go through the revision of what we have done to the question that I'm going to send you. If you have challenges, let me know, and then we shoot to the next what? The next class. Is there any question, guys? Sandion, Sandion, do you have any question? No question. So, guys, yeah, I will send you this so that you are able to at least to drill some of those questions. And then, please, the topics we have finished, don't stop practicing. Keep practicing so that at least we link. Ne? We link. You rather wait for the upcoming topics and you focus on what we have covered so that you are able to what? To pass or to drill and get at least used to those questions. Because if you don't do questions, there is no way you're gonna make it. You have to do as many questions as possible. Guys, see you again in the next what? In the next class. Sure, sure.